This week on Around the Monitor, a Pokemon-like game, Temtem, became the highest-selling game on Steam. And rumor has it that we're getting a new Paper Mario game this year. This ain't no sticker star. Get ready to go Around the Monitor.
Let's go.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Around the Monitor for the week of January 23rd. I'm your host, King Kaiser, and this is the weekly gaming news talk show where every point you make in the discussion is a point towards winning. Remember, if you like the show, you can catch us live every Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/King Kaiser. If you can't catch us live, don't worry. You can watch us the next day on both our YouTube channel and on Apple iTunes as a podcast. But let's go through our guests this week. We've got, once again, Master Ham Mizuki.
Nintendo, please just give us GameCube Virtual Console.
Is that Skies of Arcadia?
I was going to say, that's
Yeah.
Skies of Arcadia.
That's the Skies of
all right,
Arcadia.
I do remember that
game.
game. We've got the Ace Attorney, Dapper Dastard.
In memoriam, Mr. Peanuts. Pour one out for the legend.
Trilogy.
I'm feeling really salty about it, but we've got the Snapshot Crackshot, the Fisher King.
I don't have any clever comments because I've been playing Legends of Runeterra and editing all day.
And we've got the new voice of the people, Pings of Death.
That's quite the introduction. I don't think
Ohio 591?
Let's hope we can live up to the
I'll take it.
big shoes to
Thank you.
fill.
Happy
Big shoes
November.
to fill.
Are
No
they?
pressure. Pings of the people. If you are unfamiliar with the show, as Pings might be, as this is his first debut on the show, here's how things go down. First, we start off with a trivia question. It is always a numbered answer. Whoever gets first through fourth, we order it in that order, and then we go through the topics of the week. You pick a topic. You have 2 minutes, sometimes more, to talk about that topic, and you get rewarded points based on how good of an argument you give. At the end, after 2 rounds, somebody wins. They get a minute to win it, in which they basically just get to talk about whatever they like, and then we go on with our lives. Is everybody ready?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Woo.
Our trivia question for this week. One of the topics that is going to be featured this week is talking about a potential new Metroid game and a potential Paper Mario. Just slammed my mic. Paper Mario game. My question to you is, what was the Metacritic score for the last Paper Mario game? That is Paper Mario Color Splash, of course.
I don't... Like, what? Oh, okay.
So it's something 1 through 100.
Yeah. I got a number if nobody else does.
Yeah, drop it.
Go for it.
Hit me with a little bit of that 69.
Damn it! That's what Stop taking it.
All right, Fisher's got 69 on the board. Anybody else?
61.
61 for Dapper.
70.
70 what?
75.
75.
Oh, like I know it wasn't good, but how not good was it?
Exactly.
That's the
exactly.
question.
I recall it being very not good.
I'll go with 64.
Correct answer is 76. That means Pings of Death is going to be our first pick tonight.
How did it get a 76?
I looked that up and I was like, that's why I thought this was a good trivia question, because nobody was going to get that one right.
Oh.
Let me that out.
Mario
Let me
game
that
after
out.
the second one.
I
Yeah.
think
That
that's
was-
just Metacritic inflating. Like,
Yeah.
Man,
law
this
of
is, I
averages.
feel like it's the first week I haven't gone first in like 2 months.
Sometime. It's been a while. So that puts the order at Pings as number 1, Fisher at number 2. I believe Mizuki was third, and then
Mizuki
Dapper was
was
last.
third.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't think
So
I've ever not been third or fourth.
King Mizuki has fallen, he says. All right, let's go through the topics of this week, and then Pings, you can tell us where you're going to start here. We've got Guerrilla Games is seeking staff with multiplayer experience. Does this mean we're going to be seeing a multiplayer mode in Horizon Zero Dawn 2? or I guess Horizon 1 Dawn. Sega announces 2020 is going to be the year of Sonic the Hedgehog. They said they're going to be giving us a huge news update every month on the 20th. Xbox Series X prototype images have been leaked. We've got a remake of Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back coming to Netflix. It is not an anime movie. It is I guess 3D animation. I don't know the exact term for that. Interesting choice. Ninja Theory announces it is currently working on 4 games. The Pokemon-inspired game Temtem is now Steam's top-selling game. A dad built a custom Xbox adaptive controller so his daughter could play Breath of the Wild. Dying Light 2, which was scheduled for spring 2020, has now been delayed indefinitely. What do we think's going on with that game? A reliable source says that we're going to be getting a 2D Metroid and a Paper Mario game this year. The Women Suing Riot Games might actually be entitled to $400 million instead of $10 million. Ubisoft is changing the way they make games. I really want to get this one out of here because it's just too much. But when gamers were asked what do they expect from next gen hardware, the number one answer was better graphics.
Duh, more polygon.
And this one's pretty much for Fisher, but I suppose technically anybody could steal it. A new Kingdom Hearts game is coming to phones. The advertising campaign is saying, "Hey fans, can you guess the name of this game?"
Which like, look,
Wow, fuck you,
Kingdom
Square
Hearts.
Enix.
Kingdom Hearts is bad now, and it's been bad for a long time. But that's a good marketing campaign.
All right, Pings of Death. Where would you like to start?
I don't want to take the one at the end, so I guess I'll just start with the hedgehog.
So Sega announces 2020 is the year of the hedgehog. Pings of Death. Tell us what you
Finally.
think about that.
I guess like I'm all for it. Like I hope that it just gets more and more bizarre as the year goes on. Like it's going to start pretty high, like with this movie coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Take your
So,
little
then,
to
like-
see Sonic.
Yeah, and like I just hope it's all downhill from there.
So
like every month. What? Oh, go ahead.
if you can look into your Pigs of Death crystal ball here, what absolute madness do we have in store for us in the year of the hedgehog?
I honestly have no fucking idea.
Sonic the Hedgehog themed amusement park.
Yeah, or just
Jesus.
like oddly placed commercials with him. Like I don't think it'll have a game that's good with him. Yeah, I just hope by August that like it's just rampant Sonic head product placement.
We'll have our Sonic energy drink coming sometime before the end of the year.
Yeah, no, and like
Real
like,
hedgehogs.
real hedgehogs.
Nin- nin-
By December, I would hope that like everybody would have a real hedgehog.
Oh, everyone.
And like this article also says like there's nothing like that they have planned for the year. It's just that we're gonna shove him in your.
So just
Faces
to wind
for-
it back, what you're saying is that you think their marketing campaign is going to be buying everyone a real living hedgehog.
Oh, that's not what I thought. I thought he meant making it legally required to own a hedgehog.
I think both would like, get people talking about.
If you don't go to the store and buy a hedgehog, Jim Carrey will come to your house and beat you up.
God damn
I
it.
think my favorite part of the article is they're advertising like official and fan artwork. I'm like,
Oh,
wanna
no.
advertise-
Yeah.
you want to
Oh,
advertise
no.
Sonic fan art because that's you don't want to advertise Sonic fan art.
In other news,
Well,
Deviant
yeah.
Art now a publicly traded company.
No, see, my favorite part
Yeah.
is the article's like 2020 is the year of the rat, so they're gonna make it the year of the hedgehog. Those two things are not all related. You have to go all the way up to being a mammal for those things to be related.
Are hedgehogs not rodents?
No,
Yeah, and the other
they're in their own order.
Wait, are
even
rodents not
family.
mammals?
That's what I mean. You have to go all the way up
Oh,
to
okay.
mammal
Sorry, makes more sense.
to be related. So they're probably about as close related to humans as they are fucking rats.
Yeah.
Dreadnought in the chat wants to
No,
know:
it makes
is it true if Sonic is fornicated with a human woman? I don't know. I didn't finish
I
Sonic
don't know.
06.
Several games have implied it.
I believe he makes out with a woman in
Yes,
like
They do
in
kiss.
one game and then
Yeah.
also in Sonic X.
like the first episode.
Yeah, the first episode. Yes, he just kiss a human female in the first episode of Sonic X.
Man, that's a hedgehog that fucks.
Here's the thing. Sega don't want to tell you it. Sonic fucks.
I mean,
It
DeviantArt
seems
has
like
led
they
me to
do.
believe too.
It really
Also-
seems like they do
Also,
want to tell
Big
you.
the Cat canonically has a child.
Does he?
Yeah.
Like a human child?
I fuck. I hope. Not.
All right. Before we get a content strike, let's move on to the next topic. Fisher, where would you like to take us?
I don't want to pick my topic now because Sonic, but let's talk about Temtem. More creepy animal things you want to have sex with.
Oh, okay.
Do
Eh.
we?
Ah,
Is that a thing?
Look, man, Twitter's a bad place. So, Pokemon-inspired game Temtem is
Mhm.
Steam's top-selling game right now. For those who aren't familiar, Temtem is Pokemon. It's
Pretty much.
this game where there's monsters, you walk around and you capture them, and then you have them, and you gotta collect them all. But they legally can't say it, so catch most of them, please. Temtem. So,
Got to acquire as many as are available.
acquire most of them. No, Temtem's actually really good. It's so we're in this weird era now of games where people can make like subgenres and genres of games more prevalently. Like you can like your niche style of game, and more of them will come out. I'm actually surprised it's taken this long for Pokemon to have a more direct competitor than Digimon, which has never been a similar game in style. Temtem is the same style as Pokemon. You wander around an open world. Particularly it's the same style as Sun and Moon / Sword and Shield, where you wander around a big open world and you find these animals and you get them.
Mm-hmm.
And surprise, surprise, if you let people that really like Pokemon and that actually know how to make a Pokemon game, they can do just as good, if not better, a job than Game Freak. Everyone's fear with this was it's going to be a cash grab Pokemon clone, and a lot of shitty show reviewers are saying that because they wanted to suck Nintendo's massive cock, I guess, because Nintendo really cares about what these fucking peons think. But Temtem actually has a lot of really cool changes, and I think it deserves to be Steam's top-selling game right now. And the fact that's also doing super well on the Switch is a really good note as well. It's important that we start seeing these, like, I guess, gaming monopolies be hurt by people that with new bright ideas, because complacency is a big thing. I mean, look at all the Dexit crisis and crap like that. People were so ready to bitch about Pokemon, and then here's an actual alternative to Pokemon. Maybe that, I mean, it won't, but maybe that will. It won't. Maybe it will light a fire under a Game Freak's ass to make them actually care a little bit and try a little harder next time.
I don't know. I think the fan reaction to Sword and Shield and this game coming out like really shortly after each other, I think is a really good kind of 1-2 punch to hopefully. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, who knows?
I mean, here's a question though: do we think this has staying power, or like once the initial like Warmatic Game Freak wears off and the new Pokemon DLC actually hits, does this like 26,000 concurrent thing just like plummet?
Oh, 100%.
No, I don't think that at all.
Does.
But I do think the fact that Temtem is selling well enough right now will curtail and do them making enough money to possibly make a sequel. And if the sequel stays, then we're in business. The main change is like the way the combat works, where it's like it's not so. I hate the term, but PP based, because that's the currency in Pokemon for moves. It's cooldown. I'm dying. It's cooldown based, which actually like leads to a bigger variety in combat, which I think is like for a lot of people is the thing that kills Pokemon, because like you just Hydro Pump 6 times in a row and then you move on with your day.
I mean that I Hydro Pump 6 times a day.
Yeah, I think that's most of us when we're not playing Pokemon.
Ladies.
Hey, okay, we're gonna get out of this one.
We're gonna run away from
We
that
keep
joke
leaving
as quick as
topics by
possible.
going, let's
Yeah,
abandon
wow.
ship.
Mizuki, where would you like to take us?
Let's go across the pond to Guerrilla Games.
Side note. Mandy's saying here, y'all need some more estrogen on the show. Mandy, you want to come back on? We'll have you back on next week. Are you free Thursdays? Let's do it. Sorry. Take it away. Give Mandy a point. All right. I'm into that.
Edit it in, boy.
All right, Mizuki, tell us about Guerrilla Games.
All right, so news story with this one is Guerrilla Games posting a job for a senior game programmer position that, according to the article, specifies multiplayer experience. I'm going to call this article out on some bullshit, first of all. So, the 99% of this job posting is generally pretty generic to game programming. It's like, you need to be able to code and be familiar with programming and be familiar with implementing all of these different things. And then in one line, in a pluses section, so not in a like job requirements, not in a like, we want you to do this thing, just like one line, they're like pluses. You have experience in areas like animation, physics, scripting, multiplayer, and UI. That's pretty much the entirety of a video game.
That's pretty much.
So they're like, you have experience in video games. Is pretty much what that last fucking line is saying. So I think this article and the hype around it is a little bit like being overstated and overhyped. I think they're really just looking for someone with broad experience, which makes sense. The game programmer is probably like an engine programmer. They even specify that they want you to help improve their engine, the Decima engine. So I really just think they're looking for it's the same engine that powered Horizon Zero Dawn as well as Death Stranding. So I think we lost somebody.
We lost someone, and I think that's gonna fuck the stream up.
Oh, it's Andy's back.
It works.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay, good.
Oh shit, the system works.
So I really just think that they're looking for someone to help improve their engine, and they're doing that with the knowledge that this engine is probably going to continue to be used in other Sony games outside of Death Stranding and their own games. So having someone with experience with multiplayer is probably a plus. I don't expect there to be multiplayer in Horizon Zero Dawn 2. I refuse to acknowledge your joke from earlier, Zach.
I was just thinking you mean Horizon 1 Dawn.
No, I don't. So I really just think they're trying to prep and like get themselves in a better place to support not just their studio, but all of the Sony studios that want to use this engine in the future. Because I wouldn't be surprised to see Guerrilla Games after the next Horizon Zero Dawn return to form with Killzone. Maybe they'll even be given like Resistance from Insomniac now that Sony owns Insomniac. Maybe they'll take that over.
That'd be cool.
Put it in the Decima engine, use the multiplayer with Resistance. That would make some sense to me, and I think it'd be pretty dope. But in general, I don't think this job posting's a fucking thing to worry about. If Horizon does anything, it'd be cool to do like a drop-in multiplayer sort of thing or co-op. I think that'd be dope. Yeah, for a Horizon-style game.
For me, everything we've been led to believe with rumors is that Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is going to be out sometime around the launch of the PlayStation 5. I think they are 100% trying to nail that window. If they don't get it, that's fine, but I don't think them hiring somebody now is going to give them the time to add a whole multiplayer mode to this game.
No, especially someone that's in the engine side of things.
Yeah.
Like, that's not multiplayer game design where you can make a lot of tweaks later. This is the, like, core of how the game runs. If they're hiring someone that's, like, multiplayer focused at this point, it's not for Horizon.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's for their next project.
Yeah, I feel like Guerrilla, they're Killzone. Why are people surprised that they're hiring a multiplayer person? Like, they've done plenty of multiplayer games in the past.
And it's also one of 5 things mentioned in essentially a footnote to the application. So people need to calm the fuck down.
Alrighty, Dapper, where would you like to take us for your first topic?
All right, so if we do a little mental flashback here to one of the several times we've talked about the Riot Games scandal, we'll remember, I believe it was Fisher, and tell me if I'm wrong, who last talked about it and remarked that the $10 million settlement offer was, in his opinion, much too low.
It was a slap in the face.
Well, if we flash forward, Fisher might be very, 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 very correct in just how low it is. Because now that 10 million figure actually might be something closer to 400 million.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, well, yes, a lot more than 10.
Yeah.
So what happened was right when we and Hope and Riot, more importantly, thought they were finally going to be able to move beyond this, two different government bodies started to weigh in on the settlement.
Mm-hmm.
The first was the Department of Fair Employment and Housing, and the second was the Division of Labor Standards Enforcement.
Mm.
And what both are looking at is apparently they just believe the attorneys for Riot essentially acted in bad faith in coming up with that settlement number.
Oh, you think?
And,
The attorneys that were trying to save Riot's money acting in bad faith?
It's almost like they get paid to save Riot money.
It's almost like all lawyers are monsters.
Now, Dapper, you're the ace attorney. Can you confirm?
I'm sorry, what was your question?
Can you confirm that lawyers are monsters?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't deny it.
Sorry, but go on with your point.
Yeah, so basically what we're looking at here, though, is not to rehash the entire issue, because we've talked about it before, but basically that this is now potentially going to be a much bigger issue and does not look like it's going to go away as soon as Riot hoped it had. Whether this will actually follow through, I mean, to have two government bodies throwing their weight behind your arguments is a pretty good boost.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it still comes down to what's actually decided. This might still stay at 10 million, but at the same time, this continues to throw another wrench in Riot's ability to bury this scandal and move on, because it is not going away as fast as they want. And it looks like on February 3rd, a judge will rule whether the proposed $10 million settlement will stand. So join
Pridge,
us.
I have a question.
Join us in about 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll probably be talking about this again.
Pridge, if they can prove that the Riot lawyers did it in bad faith and like to intentionally misappropriate the amount of money and also fuck over the ladies, could they get theoretically more than 400 million? Because Riot committed a double crime.
Ooh, a double crime.
So it's probably not a crime, though, that they committed. Your lawyers acting in bad faith isn't necessarily a criminal thing. What this 400 million is just a calculation of back pay that they believe should be given to the employees. So I don't think there'd be any like extra punitive damages tackled on top of that, because this is still a settlement.
Right.
This is not like a court ordered thing. This isn't a court ordered punishment. This is still a settlement. But it's just, is the settlement number accurately reflect what should be paid, or is it so low to assume bad faith on the lawyers?
Okay.
So I don't think so. As long as it's a settlement, you're not going to go over that 400 million, and you're most likely not going to still end up anywhere near it. But that's just what these government bodies seem to calculate as the accurate amount.
So the only solution is to bankrupt Riot.
Good luck. They're owned by Tencent, dude.
Yeah.
You're right. Bankrupt them both. My bad.
From the guy who just mentioned how much fun he's having playing Legends of Runeterra.
Yeah.
I haven't given them a red cent.
That's fair.
To bankrupt Riot, you have to bankrupt Tencent, which means you basically have to bankrupt China. So,
all right,
get to work.
You heard it here first.
Mike Rose told me it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Alrighty. Going back around to the start of the order, Pings of Death. It's your turn to pick your second topic. What would you like to talk about?
I guess I'll talk about the prototype image that was leaked.
Oh, the Xbox Series X.
Xbox Series prototype?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
So, I guess it's exactly expect. It's a box.
Sorry, what was that?
It's got HDMI. Oh, it's exactly like what you'd expect, like an Xbox.
Yeah.
It's crazy how nature do that.
It's got the logo. I guess there's an HDMI port too, so it's all very exciting. I don't know how it looks. So I think that could hurt them.
My question to you is, how much trouble do you think the person is whose copy this is that got leaked? How much trouble do
I
you
was
think?
kind of wondering
Nothing.
how they got it. Probably.
Well,
I don't know,
presumably
it sounds like
they work for Xbox and they got these copies of them, the prototypes, and they do like in the picture it did have the original like barcode on it.
oh well.
Nothing is
That
leaked
person
unintentionally.
probably
Everything's a fucking
Yeah.
multi-marketing corporate scheme bullshit.
Yeah, they
Probably.
also left the serial number edited out, so
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because like some of the sites that I've been looking on, like they actually themselves edited it out, which seems
that's
like
weird.
Yeah, they were trying to protect. Well, Mandy in the chat just gave Mizuki a point, so we have to honor it. Just a reminder: if you're watching home, you can actually give points to people who are on the show instead of not just people who are not on the show, and that will be honored.
you can influence this monarchy.
Even if it shouldn't be.
Pings, anything else to add to the?
No, I mean, I think I hope the person who has it is enjoying it. I don't really know what they can do with it. I'm assuming it can't do anything yet, but it's very exciting to get the Twitter heart.
It's all for clout, man. All right.
I don't know.
How does this article have 360 comments? Like, damn.
Because people,
Like, it's the back of an Xbox that looks really boring.
people love to talk.
There's a lot of guesses about the mystery part, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's about the mystery port.
There's nothing in it. It's not a port. There aren't even any leads. Like,
Yeah, I know. that hasn't stopped commenters before.
Mhm.
The favorite one I see is it could be for credit cards.
Oh, all right. I'll give him points for that. That was good.
It's got a chip reader on it just to help transactions go faster.
Yeah, no, to like help the kids after they get their parents' wallet.
All right. Fisher, I believe you're second in the order. So what would you like for your second topic?
Let's have a chat about the unfortunate fate of Dying Light 2.
This
I
light.
thought last week was all about delays. We're back to delay news.
The delays start coming and they don't stop coming.
And we're moving from delays to what I'm just gonna go ahead and call dead. So yeah, Dying Light 2 is delayed indefinitely.
It's a long time.
Which is strange considering we saw it at E3 and we might have also seen it at... Did we see it at TGS? I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
No. But we
If
saw it.
If it was after I was too drunk to notice.
Yeah, we saw it at E3 and it got like it had a full like well-produced big cinematic trailer with like that one of those trailers where in an E3 presentation you're like, wow, they paid for that. And it's Dragon Knight, it's not a massive game, but it was good and it was like considered a pretty decent like AAA-ish or maybe I guess AA title.
Mhm.
It's not going to carry a console or anything, but it's definitely a good.
It hit at the right place at the right time. There was no other games coming
which
out around it.
Makes me wonder if this is going to be moving to be a launch title. But unfortunately, when I hear delayed indefinitely, just like Campo Santo's In the Valley of the Gods, which has delayed indefinitely for Half-Life Alyx, I assume that game is just simply dead. Which is bad just for the games industry in general, because when you have such a, once again, not big, but like relatively large developer that does a notable thing, if they drop off the face of the earth, that's just bad for games in general, because it leaves a big gap between the AAA mega titles and the smaller titles once again, which is just getting more and more dispersed.
It does make me wonder what happened with them, or what's happening with this game.
I can only imagine, because like I can't imagine they made probably good money off of
Dying Light actually sold
1?
super well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if it's like maybe they're having financial troubles that like, I mean, producing a giant game is not cheap, and especially that it's been working for a fucking long ass time.
Yeah, I don't. It's not clear. It's not clear. I
And
hope.
it's
I hope.
it's one of those like corporate looking like it's like it was supposed to look like a corporate memo, but it's just like a image.
It is a very weird.
Those
like-
are never a good sign.
No,
That's
no.
how all of them have been this year. Like
And anything on
Cyberpunk,
letterhead,
Square, they all did that.
yeah, anything
Yeah.
on letterhead is bad.
You heard it here first. Letterhead
What
bad.
can I say?
Loose leaf paper good.
Scrawled in blood on a wall. That's the way to do it.
From the blood of zombies. Mizuki, where would you like to take us for your a second topic?
Nintendo Land to Metroid and Paper Mario.
Nintendo. Oh, gotcha. I thought you meant like the actual theme park.
No, like the land of Nintendo Land.
Of course, makes sense.
So the theme park.
Yeah. All right, tell us
damn
tell us about these two new rumored games that I desperately want to be true.
All right. So, rumored games this year are a new 2D Metroid that is also rumored to be somehow related to Metroid Fusion, whether it's
Yes.
a prequel, sequel, whatever.
Please, God.
That's we'll see. And the other one being Paper Mario, which has
Mario.
not had a good iteration since probably the GameCube.
Yeah, I think that's
What was
that's,
Thousand Year Door on? Wasn't that one?
that was
good?
GameCube.
Yeah, that was GameCube. So both of these are coming from pretty reliable source who has leaked
Mhm.
other Nintendo news, so they're probably relatively legitimate.
Mhm.
What I think is interesting about these is we have heard literally nothing from Nintendo about what's coming this year outside of Animal Crossing. So we don't know shit about the actual like quote unquote first party Nintendo games.
Yeah.
So I think that actually gives a lot of credence to this of leaking ahead of what's probably going to be a February direct, maybe March, where they talk about Animal Crossing a little more and then really go ham on what's coming this year. So I think that's good news. What I think would be super cool, and I hope to God they do this, is if this 2D Metroid is related to Metroid Fusion. The original Metroid Fusion dropped day and day with Metroid Prime. What I think would be
did it?
Yeah, it dropped the same day as Prime.
Damn.
What a good time to be alive.
What I think and hope they're doing, if this rumor is true,
Say it, baby. Say it to me.
is that they are going to drop the Metroid Prime trilogy and the new 2D Metroid the same day in 2020. So that's what I'm fucking hoping for. That would be hype as shit.
Wow. Damn,
Like,
I want that.
I don't know that other than dropping Metroid Prime 4, which they're not going to do, I don't think
not
they
ready
could
yet.
do anything even in the realm close to something as hype with Metroid.
My one concern with this is that presumably both these games would be on the Switch, right?
You think Nintendo doesn't give a shit? They never put games on sale anyway. It'll cost the same for 20
sorry.
years.
They would be on the Switch, and they wouldn't
Yeah.
put the other game on the 3DS, right?
No. They're sure as hell not putting it on 3DS.
That's
No.
the only reason I would be skeptical, because I don't think they'd put two Metroid games up on the same day, on the same.
I think
hardware.
they would.
Mm.
I think they would. They already basically did it with Metroid Prime, and both of those games sold super well.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
if you think, there were more GBAs out there than GameCubes when they were dropping both of those games at the same time, but the audience still is like almost a direct crossover, so I don't think they're super concerned with that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I don't think they give a shit. Hopefully, and I'm really curious to see if maybe this 2D Metroid's actually from Retro, because we don't know what they worked on for like 6 years.
I would be shocked. I don't think it's worth it.
I'd be surprised, but it's
most of
at
the-
least a nice thing to think about.
Most of the 2D Metroid games, I did this while I was doing research for my Metroid Prime video, which just dropped on YouTube. Is a lot of the 2D Metroid games are made in house, like by Nintendo Studios.
Yep.
That don't even
agreed.
really have names. So
The baby.
Yeah.
don't remind me.
The other game we're talking about, Paper Mario, specifically, these leaks call out that it's going back to how it was. So that leads me to believe they're going back to the OG Paper Mario Thousand Year Door style that actually did well and were good games, instead of the newer literal shit.
What a concept.
Dang.
So
Dang.
I'm hoping that's true. If that is true, Nintendo, despite being silent for about what's coming this year so far, it may end up having a banger 2020. And if they release in like the summer or fall before the new consoles with a lot of these games, they're gonna do well.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they do that this in 2019? They like we went into like the latter half of the year having no idea what Nintendo was doing.
We knew a good amount.
I think all we knew was Four Houses got pushed into like late spring, early summer, and then I think that was it.
We knew Three Houses
Sounds
was
about
coming, and also Nintendo didn't release a lot at the end of the year. They kind of just avoided that for the most part.
And also,
Like-
we thought at the time Animal Crossing was coming. It was before.
We
it was
thought Animal Crossing was
That's
coming.
true. That's true.
We knew about Three Houses. We knew about Astral Chain. And
yeah.
that's really all that they dropped in the last part of the year. Everything else came out in spring or summer.
Shout outs again to Mandy Moore in the chat here. Just linking the YouTube video I just referenced, which I made. So please check that out if you are watching. Rounding out the conversation tonight, Dapper Dastard. What would you like to finish on? So many good topics. I don't know if that's
let's just talk about Kingdom Hearts because it's at least worth a good laugh.
Oh heck yeah!
Put in the fucking body bag, Bridge.
Get him! Get him!
All right, so Square Enix recently announced they're doing a new Kingdom Hearts game.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a mobile game,
Uh-huh.
a thing that
Boo.
absolutely no one fucking wants. Even better, they're trolling themselves by doing a guess the name campaign. That's right. The game, which right now is just known as Project Xehanort.
Xehanort,
Can't remember what the characters in that game are freaking called. And what you do is you follow Project Xehanort on Twitter, and you leave a comment on what you think the next game will be called.
Oh, please just
Because
give us
as
some
we
choice ones.
Because as we all know, Square Enix is so far up its own ass when it comes to naming these goddamn Kingdom Hearts games. And no one ever fucking knows if they're going to be some weird number title or just a string of random words that sound edgy.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite one so far, as I read the comments, is Kingdom Hearts 3.0.1.428 Xehanort is inside your darkness prologue. In the end, remix and Knuckles. That's my favorite one.
There you go. It's going.
That's pretty good.
Or there's just Kingdom Hearts Baguette Francisco.
Sorry, one more time. What was that?
Kingdom Hearts Baguette.
Just Baguette. Kingdom Hearts Baguette.
It's Baguette Francisco.
Probably the best one I saw on Twitter was Kingdom Hearts. Yes, there's another one. Very good.
Kingdom Hearts North. If anything, the only thing I can tell you about this article is just go find the Twitter thing and read the comments because it's like 20% actual guesses and 80% people just railing on Kingdom Hearts for being fucking Kingdom Hearts. And it's a pretty solid laugh on its own. Because as much as I kind of respect their ability to make fun of themselves, it doesn't change the fact they're really fucking far up their own asses when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. And they really just need to goddamn stop.
Yeah, it's what was the one that was like 2.8 something?
2.8
HD Final Remix or something.
I think there was a prologue in there somewhere
There's like
too.
one that was like
That's 2.9.
Jesus God.
358
Hang-
divided by.
Hang on.
Oh yeah, HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue.
Wow, and
Kingdom
that's a
Hearts
real
HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue.
that's a real name of a video game, folks.
That's a video game.
In an actual franchise that a lot of people like or
I
did
guess I'm
like.
good. Kingdom Hearts. Epstein didn't kill himself. That's
God
a
bless
good
the
one.
internet. God bless the
Can't prove
internet.
it, Judge.
All right.
That's all I got. That's all I got on this shit show. Get us out of here.
I think that's going to do it for this week. In regards to that, Dapper Dastard, Fisher King, and Pings of Death, it's time to go home and become a family man because this week's winner is Mizuki.
Oh man, shout out to Kaiser for not giving Dapper an extra point to avoid a tie.
Well, it was the thing where I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, he's just reading the comments on Twitter. How many points can I give him for reading another comment?
All the points, thank you.
I mean, Baguette Francisco is very good. Mizuki, are you ready for your minute to win it?
Yeah. I'm regretting what I promised Mandy in the chat right now.
All right, please take it away.
All right, due to the promise I made in the chat of singing part of Be Our Guest, I guess I'm gonna sing like 3 lines from Be Our Guest. So you're welcome, everyone who gets to enjoy my quality singing voice. Be our guest, be our guest, put our service to the test. Tie your napkin round your neck, chérie. And we'll provide the rest. Soup du jour, hot hors d'oeuvres. Why we only live to serve. Try the gray stuff, it's delicious. Don't believe me, ask the dishes. That's all I'm gonna sing in this thing.
All right, you know what? I think we can all agree that was a lot better than it needed to be. I'm happy with that. Also, you pick like the more obscure words from the song.
I literally just like Googled the lyrics because I only remembered be our guest, put the service to the test, and then the rest was just the next line.
When you said 3 lines, I was like, be our guest, put our service to the test. 3, that's it, baby.
I did like 8.
No, you did. You nailed it. You nailed it.
I did 8 lines.
You nailed it.
Enjoy.
All right. Well, that's our show for this week. First, before we go, anything to plug? Anybody?
Oh, I'm unemployed.
Dude, same. Feels good.
I'm gonna plug. I'll plug Mandy Moore. You have to now come on the show again.
Yeah, Mandy Moore, next week's show. She's got to be here.
Oh shit!
Why'd
you
You got clipped.
Perfect.
I guess Fisher, you should shout out. You're working on a video right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be out on the Around the Monitor channel. I don't know, whenever Zach puts it up.
Well, whenever you finish it.
It'll be done probably tomorrow morning. So
oh shit, nice.
Up to you, homie.
All right. So I'll probably plan that for what's tomorrow? Friday? Saturday morning release. Saturday's a great time for promotion, so we'll do that. Dapper, Pings of Death, anything for you guys to plug this week?
Nope.
You look dead at the camera, just nothing.
I don't think I have it. Yeah, I don't think I have it.
All right, solid.
We're usually pretty low energy at plugs with that, guys. We killed that.
Mandy says, is Fisher on YouTube? What's the link? Mandy, we're actually just putting it on the Around the Monitor YouTube. So it's gonna be there. We're branching out. It won't just be videos with me talking.
Other people, technically, we're all part of this channel.
Yeah.
Zach is the one that does 99.9% of the work.
I do.
Zach's just the king, emperor, judge, jury, and executioner.
I'm Judge Judy and executioner, and don't you forget it.
Persian and I are here farming in these Legends of Runeterra mines.
I don't know. I was going to say, I'm in important notes. I saw Reggie Fils-Aimé in real life this week, but I don't really have to talk about that. It's not really a plug.
You should also talk about Reggie Fils-Aimé in real life.
Yeah.
Did you kiss him?
I wish. I'd probably have to actually get up on my tippy toes. He's a tall man.
Did his body appear ready?
He looked very ready. He was in a tuxedo.
On a scale of 1 to ready.
It was pretty great.
On a scale of 1.
Reggie's always ready.
On the Reggie Fils-Aimé scale.
But all right, so look ahead to that new video we have coming this week. If you haven't seen the Metroid Prime 4 video, go check that out on our YouTube as well. But I think until next time, it's been Around the Monitor.